No, not really. It's thuggish behaviour. John Fury's, is boorish, thuggish, unedifying, unpalatable, uncouth, vulgar behaviour. Absolutely. But what do you expect from John Fury?
Well,
John Fury's been in prison for gouging someone's eyes out. What did you expect him to do? Convert into a Samaritan? Is it a nice look? No. Was it a nice look over the years in boxing about so many things? This ridiculous sentimentalising of society and expecting everyone to behave in their best version of themselves.
No, but you're going to get fined. So he just likes giving money away.
Where he was, he did nothing. He just made a of himself. Again, don't get me wrong. If it came on top and he came to my face and he tried anything, I'd have to defend myself.
He just smacked the fucking table. There's 4 fighters on that stage who are literally half the age of this man, and yet he is the man who everyone is fucking terrified of. Oh, it's cooking off. He's gone for it. Oh no, he's not had his meds this morning. Fucking hell. Jesus fucking Christ, he doesn't give 2 fucks. The cake's gone. John Fury won the press conference, by the way. I think that's safe to say. I'm pretty sure he just did the Michael Jackson crotch grab. That's not cool anymore, John.
Get the cake and shove it up your arsehole before I do it.
John, thank you, John.
Little kids, I'm a machine. Me, thanking anybody twisting who I am here. If I say come on.
This is the exact moment things go too far. John Fury issues a serious warning that sounds more like a threat than promotion. Carl Froch stays composed but takes it seriously, responding with legal action. Now the focus shifts from hype to consequences, and the boxing world is not impressed.
And if he does it again and he's over, he's going to get fined again. And I don't know if it's by the pound, by the ounce, what he's getting fined for, but it's an expensive...
Physically hit him. And that obviously the board decided, and I wasn't there for the final decision with regard to the fine. I was there part of the hearing, for sure. Then I have to leave when they make their decision. They felt it was very...
Carl Froch makes it crystal clear. He is not rattled, but he recognizes the seriousness of those words. This is not banter. This is reckless behavior from John Fury. Froch handles it like a professional, while John looks completely out of control.
It was quite threatening, actually, and quite... You know, if I was a bit of a snowflake, then I'd have been upset, I'd have been offended by it, because it was threatening, he was calling it on, and he was saying basically watch your back, and you don't want to go back to prison. So he needs to be careful, doesn't he? When he's talking about going back to prison. So he's putting loose threats out.
Even Frank Warren shuts it down straight away. This was never needed. When the fight can sell itself, this kind of chaos only damages the sport. It just proves John Fury went too far, while Carl Froch kept it about boxing, not circus behavior.
I don't like it. People think because you're a promoter you like all that stuff. Me, I didn't like one.
Johnny Nelson backs Carl Froch completely here. He knows if it ever turned physical, Froch would handle business with ease. The difference is discipline. Froch has control and experience, while John Fury is running on emotion and creating problems for himself.
But if Carl did do it, I think Carl would smash him. But I just don't think he will do it. Because he's got that memory, he's got that something about him, that he's at an age where he's still physically fit enough and strong enough if he commits himself to the prep.
Even Tyson Fury admits the reality without meaning to. Deep down, he knows Carl Froch is levels above John Fury in a real fight. Trying to spin it as hype does not change the facts. This situation has gone beyond promotion and into something unnecessary.
Both of them. They need to fucking have a better sense and show some professionalism.
Frank Warren does not hold back at all and calls it exactly how it is. A disgrace to the sport. That tells you everything about how serious the situation has become. When a veteran promoter like Warren openly criticizes this behavior, it shows this crossed the line far beyond normal fight hype. Carl Froch handled himself like a true professional, while John Fury's actions dragged unnecessary negativity into boxing. Moments like these damage the sport's image and take attention away from actual fighters putting in real work.
And if you're in the room and I come out and I heard about it, no one wants that happening, but both the guys have apologised to each other. The fighting should happen in the ring. It's done and dusted, and now, we won't be any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other. And let's see the fight where it should happen in the ring.
Johnny Nelson tries to explain it, but even then it does not excuse what happened. Being emotional is one thing, but losing control in a public setting like that is completely different. John Fury clearly let the moment take over, and now he has to deal with the consequences. Meanwhile, Carl Froch stayed composed, stayed sharp, and let his actions speak through proper channels. This is where you see the difference between someone who understands the sport professionally and someone who acts purely on impulse.
The pressure is now on John to behave himself. He's distracted, a lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him out, the authorities will have.
Eddie Hall absolutely unloads here, and you can feel the frustration. This is not just about one incident. This is a pattern of behavior that people are clearly fed up with. The outbursts, the aggression, the constant need to create chaos. It all adds up. Meanwhile, Carl Froch is being dragged into something that should never have reached this level. Instead of focusing on boxing, the conversation shifts to unnecessary drama, and that is exactly what frustrates professionals who respect the sport.
He's just a fucking idiot. Plain and simple. I mean, geez, look, we've all seen the tantrums he's had. You know, headbutting walls and headbutting people and smashing Perspex glass and holding his bowls and saying he's the king of the world and King Kong bowls and whatever else. And I was just fed up of it, you know, genuinely.
Duke McKenzie brings logic into the situation, and it is a reality check. Carl Froch is a professional fighter who built his career on real fights, real stakes, and real rewards. He is not interested in meaningless street-level drama. That is the key difference. Froch operates with purpose and discipline, while John Fury is creating noise without direction. If there is no real fight, no real business, then there is no reason for Froch to engage beyond defending his name properly.
And then there's Froch, who's been paid to fight. He's used to getting money for knocking guys out. I'm sure if they put enough knocks in front of Carl Froch, in front of Carl Froch, then he might rise to it. But he ain't going to rise to it if there's no money on the table, if there's no end goal. If you want to punch up, you can go out in the street and have that any.
Tommy Fury tries to shift the focus back to actual boxing, but the shadow of what happened still lingers. While he talks about performance and opponents, the reality is the Fury name is now tied to this controversy. That is the problem John Fury has created. Instead of clean promotion, everything now feels messy. Meanwhile, Carl Froch stands on the opposite side, keeping his image sharp and controlled, which only makes the contrast even more obvious to fans watching all of this unfold.
I go in there and expect to box and do the best that I can, and if I do that, I only see it going one way.
Over £100 a week.
But don't forget, at the end of the day, I know people say, oh, you couldn't knock KSI out. KSI wouldn't stand and fight. KSI was flapping all over the ring like a bird. He wouldn't stand still.
Eddie Hearn tries to balance it out, but even he admits this went too far. Yes, boxing thrives on tension and rivalry, but there is a clear line between hype and chaos. What John Fury did crossed that line completely. Turning a press conference into something physical and threatening only damages credibility. Carl Froch understood the moment and stayed composed, choosing to respond the right way through legal action instead of lowering himself. While this may bring attention, it is the wrong kind of attention, and it shows the difference between calculated promotion and reckless behavior that spirals out of control.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
This breaks it down from a boxing perspective, and it is brutally honest. Confidence is one thing, but reality is something else entirely. At that age and with that level of conditioning, John Fury would struggle badly in a real fight scenario. Carl Froch, even years removed from competition, still carries the discipline, stamina, and experience of a world-level fighter. That is the difference people are pointing out. All the shouting and aggression cannot replace proper preparation. It only highlights that this situation was never about a real fight, but more about uncontrolled emotion and attention-seeking.
Years ago, then he should have a pretty easy night, relatively, if he can get out of the first couple of rounds. I assume they're going to go, it'll be a 6-round fight or something like that, but yeah, that's all we know right now. Undercard yet to be determined, but June 13th, trying to think of who would be a...
Tony Bellew brings it back to accountability, and this is where it really hits. At the end of the day, it is not about what people say online or in interviews, it is about knowing whether your actions were right. John Fury now has to live with that moment and the consequences that follow. Carl Froch, on the other hand, can stand firm knowing he handled the situation professionally. This is why the boxing community is backing him. Respect in this sport is earned through discipline and control, not through reckless outbursts that damage reputations.
The person in charge knows, can you look yourself in the mirror and say, I've done the right thing? And that's the question that needs.
Duke McKenzie again highlights the inconsistency, and it fits perfectly with everything we have seen. There is energy and aggression at the start, but it fades quickly, and that is exactly how John Fury's actions come across. A burst of chaos followed by consequences he has to deal with later. Meanwhile, Carl Froch represents the complete opposite. Structured, controlled, and always thinking ahead. This contrast is why so many in the boxing world are siding with Froch, because he brings stability while John brings unpredictability that no one really respects.
You know, Froch is well equipped, he's well versed, and he's been a world champion. So he knows exactly what he's.
Carl Froch ends it with pure confidence and control, and you can tell he is not taking any of this lightly. He makes it clear that if it ever became physical, it would be one-sided and embarrassing. But more importantly, he refuses to reward this kind of behavior with attention or money. That is a powerful stance. While John Fury creates noise and chaos, Froch stands firm with credibility and class. This is why fans and professionals are backing him, because he represents what boxing should actually be about: skill, discipline, and respect.
John Fury is a big bully, and big bullies need putting into place. And if I'm the man that has to do it, I will do it. I don't want to beat an old man up. I don't want to start on a 60-year-old man. But when I look back, when I beat George Groves up in front of 80,000 fans at Wembley Stadium, rendering him unconscious, he was 11 years younger than me. I'm only 10 years younger than Big John Fury. I know he doesn't look well, does he? He looks a bit older. I don't want to give him any stick, but he's 10 years older than me, 60-year-old man. I'm pressing on for 50. So, is it a fair fight?
At the end of all this, the picture becomes very clear. What started as typical fight hype quickly turned into something far more serious, and most of the boxing world has sided with Carl Froch for a reason. He stayed composed, handled the situation professionally, and took the correct legal route when lines were crossed. On the other hand, John Fury once again let emotion take over, and now he is facing backlash from fighters, promoters, and fans alike. This is not how you build respect in boxing, and it shows the gap between real professionals and those chasing attention. The big question now is what happens next. Does John Fury calm things down, or does this situation escalate even further behind the scenes? And more importantly, will Carl Froch push this legal action all the way to make a statement? One thing is certain: the boxing world is watching closely. So what do you think about this whole situation? Was Carl Froch right to take legal action, or did things get blown out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the debate.